Hi, love and friends. This is Chris Parr from Uniqueness Healing, and thank you for being here today. Today we're in the back country, Lost Lake of Bella Coola, BC, on this beautiful sunny day. And I have a wonderful video for you today. Today's video is how can you hold and lift your resonance to keep your resonance strong no matter where you go and no matter who you're around. That's what this video is about today, so stay tuned. Whew. So the first is the phenomena of resonance, or the phenomena resonant causation. So the old paradigm of causation, the upward causation or causal theory. Let's take Newtonian physics. Newton's first law states that every object will remain at rest or in uniform motion in a straight line unless compelled to change its state by the action of an external force. So an example is a billiard ball colliding type causation that does generate these new resonance and types of guilts and fears. But resonant causation, the new paradigm of causation, increases its influence as the days and the weeks and months and years unfold, can generate these guilts and fears and new kinds of guilts and fears. So if you have a resonance of guilt and fear, well, we will attract more guilt and fear into your life. So how can we hold and lift our resonance when we're faced with guilt and fear? Whatever your resonance is a wedge of possible futures. It's a range of futures that can survive within that resonance. So ultimately, all causation is resonating causation. It is only a sliver of reality that responds to impact causation. For the last several hundred years, you have chosen individually and collectively to live within that sliver, that itty-bitty space we live in, that a big space, but most but not all have chosen to live within that space. So therefore, making it appear as so, causation comes from impact. It is linear process of collision. It is a competitive process of survival. Strongest, fittest, more intimidating, more overpowering, more dominating influences, etc. Okay, so now the history has ended. Your history has ended. Everything is different. Everything is different now, okay? So resonate causation, which has always been the ultimate causation of everything, becomes more and more intense, more and more evident, more and more visible, while impact causation becomes weaker and weaker. That's going to make a lot of people really angry, particularly the chauvinist person. The chauvinist person, displaying aggressive or exaggerated patriotism. Some chauvinist views, beliefs, attitudes, or behavior believe that they are, well, you could say, superior to others and believe others deserve less than equal treatment, like male and female chauvinists of our world. This is because they are counting on a system of reduction, of logic, a system of linear evolution, a system of conflict, a system of impact, a system of cause in effect. This is because this is what the whole system of singular authority is based upon. It's right. The whole basis of male dominance, that men are better because they can have more impact. They say they are stronger, can run faster, if they are in condition. If they are not in the condition, it is not fair, but they believe they are still better. So the chauvinist in you, they are going to rebel, and therefore that part is going to show up in your world with more people trying to have an impact in a harsh, punishing, in a conflicting, competitive way. You see, places erupting here and there. People are calling for strong impact action. We are not suggesting these politics or that, just to note, not to say one is right over the other here. It may be such where you are creating the reality, or once again, we have to use force in this way, cause and effect. That is why those things are occurring. That is one of the reasons there is an increase in that kind of violence, in that kind of dominance, a sort of a last rise, as you will, a reaction to the fact, to impact is changing now. So the reality of the resonance causation is becoming stronger. It really is right now. Without lifting a finger to have contact, I can dream of a different world instead of engaging in the impact. I can dream people being different, whether that is at night or night dream, or that I consciously create, that as I move into the dream world, as I work with the magic of my night, my sacred night, my dreams, that I choose to dream so and so different. Is that fair? Yes. That I can dream in night dreams and daydreams and conscious dreams and conscious visions in meditation. In the variety of ways to dream and vision. In the way I dream of Lemurian techniques is a dream. It's a dream. It's a dream. It's going to work for some of you who have not got it to work before. So you mean, Chris, I can change my reality by touching my finger here, and touching my finger here and here and here, and saying it is a dream, it's a dream, then a dream, what I want to happen? You mean I don't have to manipulate, I don't have to control, I don't have to make others feel guilty, I don't have to whine and cry and kick and scream and beg and self-pity, feeling sorry for yourself? That sounds like anarchy. We can't have people doing that. What are you dreaming about me? Don't you dream me different? Let's dream about everyone differently. So it doesn't stand alone, does it? Intention, attention, resonates. They all work together. Resonant causation in your soul is more than ever. Your soul is evolved. It's not going to let you dream of so and so robbing a bank. They would get put in jail. Then I'll get their job. That's how I'll get promoted. Or dream them being robbed or dying, them breaking a leg. Not like this. Somehow you remove yourself from resonating causation when you do that. Your soul won't let you do that. Oh, I hope they die, then I can have it. No, not going to work like that. Some people do that though. What if I am not in touch with my soul? Then you are not going to allow resonant causation to work in your life, are you? You see, it's like a positive catch-22, isn't it? What about others who don't know anything about their soul? Sure, there's a lot of those too. They can touch and squeeze all they want. It's not going to work for them. You see, the level of the prerequisite is that the level of spirituality, where you allow it to work, is the same level of spirituality, where you have a spiritual character to work with the proper intent. Okay, so it's not so much in dreaming other people, but it's also about dreaming yourself different. It's about dreaming the future, and the resonance is shifting your thoughts, shifting your feelings, and your attention and intention to create a different resonance that will open you to a whole new range of futures. Now you're walking and bitching and complaining and crying and self-pitying all the time. No, dream how things are going to work out for you. So as we said before, it's so important to understand that whatever your resonance is a wedge of possible futures, a range of futures that can survive within that resonance. There are certain dark or light futures, and the higher that resonance is, the less dark the dark is, and more bright the brightness will be. The lower that resonance is, the darker the dark is, the dimmer the brightness. So when you're in fear and guilt, it's pretty dark and dim, bitter. So if your resonance is down there, possibly the most positive future, that you can create is nothing going wrong. Please, nothing go wrong today. Nothing go wrong today. But not everybody is there. Somebody else is up here and nothing's going wrong. Is their mid-range, and all kinds of success in their life is the range. Likewise over here, illness is a resonance, and therefore in that frequency there are certain diseases that don't exist, no matter how contagious they might be in this resonance. They don't exist in this resonance. Okay? Certain viruses, everybody gets sick, and if you're like doing Tai Chi, you don't get sick over here. They don't exist even if they may be contagious in this lower resonance. They don't exist in this higher resonance, okay? Viruses don't exist because they create them in a lower resonance, the viruses. So people in the intensity of violence, inflicting or having it, inflicting often turn to beauty. So in your world, people either reach for more beauty or more violence. Okay, so the qualities that beauty and violence bring at a certain intensity. So there are times of war, young men and women who know they are about to die often turn to beauty, often reach for immortality or their dignity, for some kind of integration, some sort of wholeness, some sort of sense of their desire is living on, blossoming after them, of truth and goodness. Never resurrection. So the goddess is returning, and battering women is increasing. Violence towards women, beatings, kidnaps, rape, and emotional, physical, and mental abuse is increasing. How can this contradiction be with the goddess returning? The violence and the beauty as that feminine energy. Through feminine energy, some will embrace it, some will be scared of it and attack it, not understanding it, right? But both are trying to answer a hunger and a thirst. Not to say the violence is okay or look the other way. I don't see no violence. Not to say that, no. But to understand greater violence or greater beauty. Love and pain. The way to truly know someone is to love them or inflict pain. To truly be loved or to be truly in pain is the way to know someone or be known. Enchantment or crisis, all right? Enchantment or crisis. For in the depth of crisis, imagine your whole life is falling apart, such as mine did before I got to where I am now. My life was filled with sickness, disease, addiction, financial collapse, emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual collapse, a massive crisis. And years later, I speak of it as growth, a growth time, the most enchanting experience I could have ever gone through. It made me who I am now. Caring, loving, compassionate soul. From the depth of crisis, not for everyone, but for some. Just like with enchantment, not everybody, but for some. Will find and answer that hunger, will answer that thirst. So in solitude, not exclusively solitude, but in solitude design. Solitude or in loneliness. And there again, not that we condone it, it's a good way. Why don't you go get lonely? But understand that some of you, that's why you do it. That's why you are so unbelievably lonely. Not just alone, desperately responding to hunger and thirst, where solitude would more beautifully do it positively. So these components, and you're going to see in your world, those that understand and seek beauty more, and they seek it more consciously. Those who seek violence more consciously. Who seek love, who seek pain, who seek enchantment, who seek crisis. Who seek solitude, who seek loneliness. Because that vortex opened and filled you with light and awakened a hunger awakened that thirst more deeply in each of you. And those that have no idea what we are talking about out there in the consensus, nonetheless, thirst and hunger are here. You are going to see it in your world, and depending upon your intention and your attention and where you slide your residence, you will see it in your reality. I have a video on YouTube called Attention and Intention. You can watch it there. So people in the intensity of violence inflicting or having it inflicted often turn to beauty. In your world, people will either reach for more beauty or more violence. How can you hold and lift resonance? Looking for individuality and the uniqueness of you. At the same time, you find the sameness in the beauty of oneness. The resonance you see as you work with centering and clarity and choice and commitment and complexity, challenge and creativity. Okay, so that is how you can hold and lift resonance. Center, clarity, choice, commitment is a resonance holder and lifter. Authenticity and clarity, the courage, the perseverance, the conviction, the coherent, and the acceptance is a holder of resonance. Complexities looking for individuality and the uniqueness of you. At the same time, you find the sameness and the beauty of oneness. To be separate and one simultaneously, that's complexity. You know, the challenge, creativity. Everybody wants to be in the same herd, but you be there and be different in there. Resonance causation, the ultimate causation with the change, becomes now more visible, more apparent, more powerful, more potent. On a very personal, very private, understand when the vortex with and around you opens and fills you with the light as it has, the light is in you. What you will notice in your world is everybody is going to be reaching for their own spirituality. Not for spirituality mind you, but their own unique spirituality that heals them, feeds them. Food and water nourishes them and replenishes them. It's not about them copying you or doing your spirituality. It's like everyone is going to start reading spiritual books, meditating and talking. This is your metaphysical spirituality. Others have their own, as we said and rephrase here, because it is so important to let in that with the light, with that energy now inside of you, people are going to respond to hunger that they may not even know what it is. They are going to respond to a thirst they don't even understand. People are going to be reaching and stretching for their immortality and eternity. They are going to be reaching, stretching, in whatever way they can for a greater sense of human dignity, caring for themselves. This is what part of the dream is: human dignity, vision, character, participation, the vortex, the major crisis responding to it, resolved. Part of what it is about is that sense of longevity, immortality. You might be here for a while. I might be here for a while. Therefore, what I might do will have an impact. My longevity, my immortality, my human dignity. The unconscious seeking that light might be more conscious, more quickly, not just in the mid years, but in all years. Kids, adolescents, or even older parents or older people. So you see these energies, the shadows, regardless if it is the shadow type coming into the light is going to force it to the conscious, the sense of desire again, the intent of your desire in a sense of beauty, or rather a sense of truth, honesty, goodness, as well as that healing and empowerment. His qualities are the qualities beauty brings. Beauty is all around us. Shift your resonance to see beauty all around you. Just like the vortex of God is open, so did each of your own vortices within each of you has been changed. So the dial of the resonance on each chakra and vortex has been changed, and in turn, you'll become more aware. So your first chakra of security is now functioning at a different frequency than it used to. And issues of security, manners of means of creating it, and physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, are going to change. Maybe they haven't yet, but maybe you haven't become aware of it yet, right? Or maybe you have, but your chakras are different and operate at different frequencies. You see, they are functioning at a different frequency. First chakra of security, etc. The second chakra of pleasure, primal creativity. You will find different forms of pleasure, sexual pleasure, creative pleasures, etc. Right? So third chakra of openness, of expressiveness, personal power, vulnerability, great power, etc. Fourth chakra of deeper, richer love, a more profound, life-changing love, a more defining moments of love, a deeper, richer love, etc. on that one too. So the fifth chakra of open communication, expression, being heard, speaking clearly. It feels good to speak, and many of you are going to find yourself expressing yourself more. Differently too, expressing yourself differently, not so complaining. In your own unique way, you will express differently and beautifully. Sixth and seventh chakra, opening to deeper psychic insights. Intuitive abilities, clairvoyance, clairsentience, claircognizance, clairaudience, and clarity, visions, intuition, dreaming, and weaving together your reality with passion, creativity, and imagination. Also opening a deeper and richer spiritual connection and spiritual union. With yourself and everything around you. Oneness and separate. You will find yourself more vulnerable and feeling with greater intensity. Things that did not affect me now do more deeply. You will feel the love in a different way, and you will be expressing that love, and you will be opening to knowing, being aware, and to intuition, and deepening your spiritual connection. And spiritual doorway, open that doorway and step on in. Yes, 7th, 8th, 9th. Your auric field is changing too. Your etheric field is shifting indeed. And that relationship with your higher self, your real self, soul, healing team, inner child, magical child, and God, goddess of all that is changing and deepening too. So understand, it is almost as if the dial of the resonance on each chakra and vortex has been changed. Like the settings on the radio device that is your biological machine body has been reset and recalibrated. Therefore, you can expect to feel each of these arenas, particularly the physical chakras, more than the auric field and the etheric field. You're going to be more alert, like a canine senses, to these kinds of changes. You will be going to yourself thinking and feeling these things differently. I got an idea. Expressing differently. Some of it, you may like, and some of it you may feel uncomfortable or don't like the change. Some of the recalibrations may have countered in ways, but certainly others, and therefore imbalances may occur. So the chakra centers will recalibrate, and people, they are very, quoting, loose meaning. They are very fluid right now. Some of you have been locked in recently the old combination. Lock hadn't been turned in years. They may seem rusty and gummed up for most, and you may just get tired when you deal with them, right? But not all. Maybe you have just been at a certain frequency for years or lifetimes, and that's it. Now the ball bearings have been greased, and now it's spinning and new to higher consciousness and resonance. No, I don't want to go. Yes, you do. And you're just going up and you feel, oh, I feel good up here. Better than I did down there. What it's going to mean is you will become more aware, focusing on what is more intent here. Yeah. What is more intention to open with these vortices, to open to the changes, the vortices, bringing it to operate at a higher, deeper frequency, so I may carry out my mission and destiny to improve my health. Yeah, so be it. What resonates now, that they are fluid now, open now, that you can be more conscious just by adjusting your own chakras. Just sit and imagine them being adjusted. Right now, in a reality where I am being threatened with my physical security, I can change that frequency. I am now in a situation where I am feeling stuck in my primal creative energies. I can change that frequency. I'm being too vulnerable right now here. I am being more vulnerable than I want to be with this person or that person. I need to dial it differently. To my radio, dial each interaction or encounter in life just by thinking and feeling of your chakras balancing to each person you're with. And the vortices, maybe I dial it down, or I want to be more on this one, or vulnerable here with myself, or with this person. I want to be so much on guard, so easy scared. The love that I was so inhibited about. This is the time I can open it. I'm full of guilt and fear. No, I'm open to love. Shift it and change it in a way, a powerful, potent, and pure way. So you will see in your reality, your role is going to become much more spiritual, more spiritually aware. You're going to see in your world those that understand and seek beauty, violence, pain, or love more consciously. You're going to see in your world those that understand and seek beauty more consciously. Those who seek violence more consciously, who seek love, who seek pain, who seek enchantment, who seek crisis, who seek solitude, who seek loneliness. Because the vortex opened and filled you with light and awakened a hunger, awakened that thirst more deeply in each of you. And those that have no idea what we are talking about out there in the consensus, nonetheless, thirst and hunger are there. You're going to see it in your world. And depending upon your intention and your attention and where you slide your resonance, you will see it in your reality. Not that you will all of a sudden going out and active violence, but you will be more aware. You'll see it more close and personal. Even if it still on the news, it will be more there. It will be more impactful. Why? Or beauty, you will notice it in different ways. I have seen that. I have looked at that a million times, but I never touched me like this time. What's wrong with me? Nothing. And likewise with love, you're going to feel it not in a way you have felt it before. That's going to scare some of you. If you anticipate it and you know it's coming, then you don't have to go in for pain, either to inflict or be inflicted or have it threatened to, So be aware to understand in your world, not to condone it, but to understand and to work within yourself, because everybody is going to respond or react. Your world is going to become much more spiritually aware. Whatever vocabulary or letter it uses, it's going to be more and more everywhere. Not tomorrow, but it's going to be there, and you're going to see and feel a little indication there. Set up such a resonance, imagination, with its creativity and passion, sets up that resonance, your own radiance. If lifted, elevated radiance, it doesn't have to be a bigger radiance, but a more elevated or profound, powerful resonance. The pursuit of the unknown, willing to explore, which doesn't make sense, but not willing to just stop with don't know, but instead to just let it come. Pursue this willingness to explore. I got 3 answers. I want another. I want to keep going after this. That doesn't make sense until I have exhausted it. And it does make sense. Not just somewhat, but makes sense. And then to look a little further and make sure there is nothing else there. Of course, your attention and focus, your intention and your attention, all of these things are within you. You don't have to have them all active at the same time, but all of these things trigger potential. They trigger a resonance that can trigger a release. But you see, that's not enough. But it also needs to be a resonance outside of you. Okay, I feel it a little bit, and then get off it and rejoice and keep stretching. Responding to your hunger, to your thirst, the radiance of your own resonance opens a vortex of Sirius to consume all that limits you, that experience of creativity and is productive expression. Allow the goddess of Sirius to merge with you, to merge with you, to merge with you, to join the shining ones of Sirius, to work with the Sirians, to allow them to work through you. They're such a beautiful being. And the vortex of Sirius and the goddess energy is opened. And the goddess energy will work with and merge with all that is ready. Thank you for listening to me today. And find ways to lift your resonance. And just as you're standing around someone, you can adjust your chakras, and it's what you're thinking, how you're feeling. And you can actually, Bruce Lee said you're either in the room with them or they're in the room with you. And thank you for listening to me today. Thank you for being here today. This is Chris Parr, Syrian and Lemurian Wisdoms and Teachings.